What's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. If you guys want to know how to go from 0 to 90,000 followers in 45 days, you might want to tune in, lean in, and listen up, because this episode we're going to be having a gentleman by the name of Nathan Earl coming on, and we're going to be twisting his arm to get him to reveal all of his secrets. Listen, if you guys are just coming in and are starting the challenge, lean into that and really commit. If you have an opportunity to go through and invest in yourself and go through our blueprints, even join our mastermind. We just got done with a phenomenal virtual mastermind this last weekend, and there's just not a more powerful, integrity driven, and based in actual real strategies, not just hype and fluff, community and platform than Legendary. And it's not because of me, it's because of all the incredible people that are here. So if you're here, congratulations. You found the right place at the right time with the right people. Put on your seatbelt and get ready to do the work so you can get the results. All right, let's bring in that dude, Nathan Earl. What's up, my man?
What up? What up? What up?
Not much, man. We are thrilled to talk to you and learn from you today. You are crushing it, blowing it up. Everything that you touch, whether it be YouTube, TikTok. Obviously, the headline says 0 to 90. Sounds like kind of a song, 0 to 90 in 45 days.
Yeah, and we scheduled that 3 weeks ago.
So now you're, yeah, I know, totally. I don't know why I missed that. Yeah, you're up to, you're up to 135,000 now, but still the headline is real and truthful. And 0 to 90, you did that in 45 days. How old is your TikTok channel?
So I started my TikTok channel late September. Didn't post anything, and then like at the end of September, I posted like one video, and then waited until November, posted a few more videos, and then basically once I started seeing like the virality of one video within like 3 videos, so it was like a week into it, from September, basically late September, I saw that there was some potential and just took it full time, and here we are, just like 2.5, 3 months later. So
showing up.
Well, 4 months now, but yeah.
Dude, should I change my lighting to look more gangster like yours? Because I kind of feel like you look like a badass, and I kind of look like I'm under like on a surgery table about to, like, have dental surgery or something. How do you get that looking like that?
So a lot of people ask me that. Actually, that's probably my number one question people ask me is like,
oh, great, I'm lumped into everybody else now. Great.
Right.
Well, tell us, dude, because obviously we think you look cool. So
here's my secret. You ready for it?
Yes.
It's like $93 panels from Amazon with 2 LED spotlights that I can control from my phone up there.
Okay, so you put the
spotlights are actually pointing down on the 3D panels. Like these are just they're just textured 3D panels.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I just have the spotlight up pointing down at the top of it to give the top edge that color, and then with the 2 of them with the mixture fades colors. It's pretty cool.
So I have this old barnwood behind me. So could I get a similar effect if I change my lighting?
Potentially you could. The wood might like absorb the color a little bit, but one of the best things you can do is like just mess with the adjustments on your camera. So like if you use LEDs, so what I do is I like drop like the exposure or whatever down a bit, and then increase the contrast, and doing that'll make the colors pop up a bit. So if you actually mess with the contrast, that red behind you and stuff might actually pop up quite a bit more.
So I'm just on my regular iMac. It's a new iMac, so it's got a good camera, I think. But where are those settings even at?
On iMac, I'm a Windows guy. So besides my iPad, I have a custom built PC that I use. So
oh my gosh.
Yep.
Matt, do you know where they're at on an iMac?
No clue.
Unbelievable.
The voice of God.
Unbelievable.
Right?
This is unbelievable. You know, I'm trying to look cool, but it's not working.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah, about $200, and you can have the same background besides the lighting on panels on the side. So
Yeah. Well, dude, I guess I'll just be me, and you just
That's
be you.
that's what it's about. So the biggest thing is like, don't try to copy people. Like I did this because it's fun and it pops up for content creation. Well, for people watching, people are gonna be like, oh, he's grown because he's got like all these cool visuals and like everything pops out. The people that I learned from, the people that I studied to like do all this TikTok stuff, they don't have like, some of them have white backgrounds. Like,
Dude, I'm the most simple guy online,
right.
like I just wear the same thing literally every day. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'll go live on my laptop and Matt will be like, dude, your camera looks like shit. And I'll be like, all right. And then I
Yeah.
just keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have like two sweaters that I have up in my office, like up in my two-story house, because it gets cold up here, right? It's winter. Sometimes it'll get cold. So most of my content, I'm wearing either a black sweater or that gray sweater. And everybody's like,
Yeah.
why do you always wear the same thing? I'm like, it's easy. It's right there. I can just grab it, put it on if I'm cold, drink
Dude,
content.
I used to care a lot more how I looked, man. Like I would be like, all right, with the outfits and stuff. And
Yeah,
then I just realized I was like this, if I wear the same thing every day, then I'm just consistent. You know what I mean? And plus
yeah,
that's what I want to do. I got sweatpants on right now. I've got socks and Birkenstocks. I mean,
yeah.
I am really that guy.
There you go.
So, all right. So let's talk about first of all, thank you for your service. You were
Yeah.
in the Air Force and you broke your back.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
started in the Air Force, man. What year was that? That was I want to say it was 2013 or 14. 2014. I went into the Air Force as a C-17 loadmaster. So what that is I was the guy in charge of doing the math for the cargo, making sure when the jet takes off it doesn't crash, and in charge of the loading crews. So when we would land, you know, Afghanistan, wherever, the crews that came up to the back of the jets that you see in like movies and they're like loading the jet or unloading the jet, I was the guy in charge of that crew, right? Well, we were flying into San Diego and I went down from the cockpit. I was hanging upstairs with the pilots and we're coming into San Diego. I went downstairs to check the cargo, slipped off the top step, free fell about 8 feet and landed on my back on the steel lip of the bottom step and just
Holy
done.
shit.
So, being the military and their wonderful medical procedures, they instead of putting me directly into surgery like I needed, they put me through physical therapy for a year with 3 fractured vertebrae and 3 ruptured discs. So, after a year of physical therapy, on top of that, oh hey, guess what? I have severe arthritis, nerve damage, and all kinds of different problems in my back. So then I ended up getting surgery, and then they medically retired me. So,
Hmm.
but thankfully, I was learning all of this stuff: web design, video editing, affiliate marketing. I've been studying this stuff for about 9 years. So once
And
they
that
told
happened
me
when? That happened when? How long had you been
that was,
studying?
oh, how long have I been studying that stuff?
Well, no, I'm trying to just understand the timeline. How long ago did the accident happen?
That accident happened in 2017, and then I was
Mm.
medically discharged in 2018.
So you
So
had already been, working on your marketing skill sets, I guess, for lack of better terms, for about 7 years when that happened.
yeah, so at that point it had been about 7 years, and I was actually just starting to get results and like doing all that stuff 3 years in. So I failed like hard for 3 years, you know, shiny object syndrome, getting distracted, all this different stuff. Didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. So I didn't know what kind of work I needed to put in. I was building really cool websites and then found out, oh, hey, you can build an awesome website with a really cool email sequence. But if you're not getting traffic, you're not going anywhere. So that was my big issue, was struggling with traffic for years. And then so after those 3 years, I started getting some results, but wasn't really doing anything huge. You know, like if I landed in Germany, one of my favorite things in the military, if I landed somewhere and I had Wi-Fi on my laptop, I'd bust that out. And instead of going out and partying like all the time with the rest of the crew, I'd get up and start doing like affiliate marketing or web design, you know, like messing around. And my goal was to try to replace my income while I was on the road flying. So, and that I think because of that, when I broke my back, my head was already in the right spot. Like, hey, I need to replace my income. But
Mhm.
if I wasn't on that track and I wasn't thinking like, hey, how can I replace my income? When I broke my back, I probably wouldn't be here today. like
Yeah.
just because of the amount of struggle I'd be going through. So
Oh, bro, I can't imagine. Like if you had that injury and then no income, and I
yeah.
mean,
Well,
yeah,
it's like the biggest thing is like, what are you gonna do? You know?
right, right,
So
right. What are
yeah,
you going to do just with purpose? What are you going to do with yourself? Right? Like no
yeah,
purpose or no, I get it, bro.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay, so like we get the backstory, and I appreciate you pointing out the fact that there was 3 years of really hardcore struggle, like no money, like
yeah,
tumbleweeds, no money, maybe a commission here or there, but like nothing that was major, right?
yeah.
If I'm not accurate, but that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, no, $0 for 3
Okay,
years.
zero.
Yeah,
Zero. Okay, just to
0.
be
It was
clear,
hard.
zero.
It was
Okay,
hard.
so all of you guys who are like, oh, why am I not a gazillionaire after 90 days? Here you go. So it's normal to have a learning curve. It doesn't have to take 3 years. One of the reasons why we exist, because I have internet marketing skills and marketing skills that I can go and basically market any product or service that I want. And we still have, as a matter of fact, I have a pile of affiliate checks sitting on my desk right now from various different things over the last little while. And, it's not just, you know, I do this because, and we do this here at Legendary because there's not a whole lot, if any, really solid platforms that teach affiliate marketing simply and with integrity. There's a lot of BS out there. And so we have fun teaching this stuff, and we help a lot of people get results. So I say all that not to just do a humble brag, even though I just did. It's that it doesn't have to take 3 years. You can begin to get momentum, and you can begin to get results faster than that. What do you think, after being in the game for 9 years? What do you think about Legendary now that you've found Legendary and you're a part of our community? You're learning from us. Now we get a chance to also learn from you. What do you think about what we're doing here, and people's ability to be able to get these skills in this environment?
Yeah. So I'll be 100% honest. When I first saw you guys like 3 years ago, I was like, nope, I'm avoiding that because that's like, I was all about the software. So I was actually successful with software long before I ever promoted any courses or anything like that. I would
Mhm.
create PDFs and like little videos and stuff like that. Go into Warrior Forms. I'm sure you're familiar with Warrior Forms. I'd go on there and look for people who were just asking how to set up websites for their business and stuff like that. And I'd send them this PDF with like Bluehost links and walkthroughs and all that stuff. So that's how I was the grinder. Like I grinded every single day for every sale I ever made. Right.
Mhm.
So when I saw Legendary Marketer, like, oh, hey, here's this community, set this whole thing up, just get them in. It's the mindset where you think, oh, it's a community sales thing, it's MLM. I'm kind of like not really into that. But yeah, so I actually first learned from you back in your FN days. Um, yeah, we're not going to talk about that, but that's actually, you are the reason I got my first sale back in the day. Was I watched a couple of your videos back then. I was like, hey, this guy actually knows what's up. So when I heard of Legendary, I was kind of iffy, but then I heard, oh, hey, David Sharpe's on that. Like that's his thing. That's when I actually started looking into it seriously. And then Spencer Meekum, the super affiliate for ClickFunnels, he was like, hey, you should actually look into this stuff. I'm doing some research on it. So we both kind of started looking into it. So I got into like the 15-day challenge and stuff like that back then. Started going through it, kind of applied it a little bit more to some stuff. Things started working out a little bit better. And then just 2 months ago is when I was like, hey, let's actually promote this. And that's when I actually started creating content specifically for Legendary, because I went through it. I took the time to learn from it. I applied the teachings and I saw, hey, this is really valuable. The community is awesome. Like some of my best friends are from this community now. So yeah, it's just, I guess it shouldn't take people that long, but I think it's one of the best systems people can get into. And the way it's laid out with the education and the community and people like us that are just willing to just jump in and help people, you don't have to wait 3 years to make $1. Like that was just because I was stubborn and I avoided like make money communities, right? So don't be that guy. But yeah, this is literally one of the best communities on the internet that you could find to do this stuff. And I
Yeah,
appreciate that. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And thanks for being willing to be a part of the community, right? Because I mean, it is a community because there's people like you who are willing to come on and share your advice and sort of do open heart surgery on your business and let everybody kind of learn from you and learn what you're doing. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a topic that you're really excited to talk about, which is kind of what you've been doing over the past 90, 120 days or so to absolutely blow up your TikTok channel. It's benefiting your YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. Dude, let us learn from you. Talk us through. I'm going to show your TikTok channel so I can share my screen. Talk us through your learning curve of how you have, figured this kind of this TikTok game out. Why even like a platform like TikTok is really exciting right now,
Hmm.
versus kind of the way that we used to do things, which
Oh
was
man.
very different. Why don't you start there and then we'll
Yeah.
go into the mechanics?
Okay. Okay. So my journey with TikTok actually started again. I'm gonna quote some Spencer Meekum, right? So obviously I'm working with him. He started a TikTok channel and did a couple videos, and his fifth video in went super viral, right? And I was like, hey man, that's pretty cool. And then all of a sudden his YouTube traffic started spiking because he started like promoting his YouTube a little bit, like put it in the links and whatnot. And so he's like, dude, you know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing online. Like, you know, web design, you know, video editing, you know, content creation, you know, you should get on there and start talking about some stuff and just teach something. And I was like, well, I guess I could, but it's TikTok, you know, it's for kids, right? Like it's teenagers, like, right?
So
Because
he's like convincing you that you should use like some of these general skills that you
yeah,
have, or
yeah,
specialized skills about video marketing and stuff, and you should actually get on and kind of do affiliate marketing on this platform.
yeah. So anyways, I got on there and I created my first video, and that's why I waited a little bit. And he was just like, dude, make more videos. And I was like, I'll tell you what, when I hit 1,000 followers and I unlock my lives, right? So you can go live because I was just using the content creator account, and we'll talk about why you should just use a creator account. All right. So I told him when I hit 1,000 followers, I'll take it seriously. Right. And he's like, okay, well, until you take it seriously, try to do it like at least one video a day. Just do something, you know. And he was really encouraging, like just get content going and you'll see it works. All right. So I created a few more videos, and within like a week and a half, I hit my 1,000 followers. And so he's like, so you can take it seriously? I was like, yeah, I might as well now. So when I hit my 1,000 followers, I bought the TikTok training from you, and I went through that training, and I'll basically the concepts that were taught in there, I didn't succeed from necessarily just those concepts. And the biggest thing, so one of the things I want to teach people in this is you can't take a course and expect to skim the content, write down some ideas and succeed. You need to dig in and you need to innovate and you need to understand, why does that gear turn right versus left? See what I mean? So when you're looking at mechanics of a system, you got to understand like the little pieces. And so when your machine's not working, right? If you have two gears fighting each other, what can you do to fix that, right? So what I did is I took the course to get the knowledge started essentially, and then I wrote down like Matt Steinman and Jordan Montoya and like all these different guys, Jake Thornhill. I wrote down all these guys' names, their TikTok profiles, and I started looking at all the profiles that they have set up. I started looking at all the profiles that they followed, and I started studying every single piece of content that I possibly could. Like for the first 2 weeks, I mean, like I just had like notes and notes and notes and notes filled out on notebooks, right? And then I started realizing, okay, it's not necessarily the content you put out. It's watch time is the number one biggest thing. You have to have something that's watchable, all right? And then the second biggest thing is getting people to watch. So if you have watch time is the number one biggest factor on going viral, getting more views, getting more likes, right? If that's the biggest thing, how do you get that to happen? Well, if you can't get them to actually sit and watch, then there's a problem. So in the make money online niche, a lot of people are doing this whole like, oh, hey, here's how you make money doing this. Here's how you make money doing that, doing the side hustle videos, right? And that's good. But a lot of people they just copy word for word, but they don't understand why they're copying word for word on viral videos, which is fine because TikTok, it's a trending platform, right? Like people copy what other people do and call it a trend. Okay. So if you're struggling with getting views or like traffic or anything like that, you can literally recreate, don't copy word for word, but recreate, use the same sound, use the same concept, same strategy, twist it a little bit. You know, if you can add anything to it, maybe use a different tool. You can create content that goes viral like that. Like literally today, people watching this right now could get off and go do it. All right. Excuse me, I'm talking too fast. So I ended up coming up with this strategy. It's kind of like lame, but I like it. It's cool. It's called hook, but it's for content. So the hook ends with the C, or is it a C, right?
Yeah.
So H obviously is the hook. Okay. You have to hook people to watch content, whether you're selling something or you're just putting up content or even in a YouTube video. Your goal is to get people to stick through to the end. Okay. It's just get there. Just, hey, this is what I want you to do. This is why you should stick around. Right. So a hook is obvious, just something that's a big claim or something really emotional, something that's like grabs people. Okay. So you got to have that hook. And then the O, the first O, in the make money online niche, if you're doing TikTok, is overcoming objections. So as soon as you say something like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to make $200 a day, they're going to have an objection and they're going to go, bull crap. You can't do that. That's fake. That's a scam, right? Yeah, nobody does that. That's $6,000 a month. You know, that's like 6 of my jobs, right? Whatever. So people are going to have objections. As soon as you say something like that in the make money online niche, people are going to leave unless you overcome that objection right away. So one of the ones that you can watch, like my TikTok, if you pull it up, one of the biggest ones that I break down is this doesn't cost anything to get started. Like I'm not promoting this. I don't get paid to do this. So there's zero costs and zero risk, because people, if they hear make money, they think, oh, I have to spend a bunch of money up front. But your goal, yeah. So your goal as a TikTok educator, we'll call it, right, isn't to necessarily sell anything, but get people to watch, because your end goal with TikTok is the link tree. Like, so that link tree, your link, your profile link, is to get people to click on that. All right. And I'll let you get caught up if you have any questions so far.
No, I'm just following along with the hook. I want to make sure that we're clear on that, and you have I don't have any questions. So it's hooking somebody, which is kind of catching their attention with a big claim or a promise that, or some sort of a question. Hey, do you think it's possible to make $200 a day online? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how, right? And then the objection is, well, you're probably thinking that that's not possible. And I understand. I thought it was not possible when I first thought of the concept as well, right? It's kind of validating the skepticism. And Nathan, one of the ways that I overcome objections is not really try to convince somebody that the objection is not legitimate, because a lot of times it's like arguing with somebody. It's like if I'm arguing with you about something, kind of like politics, right? Say you had an opposing view and you and I are just sitting there arguing. Is all arguing does is it makes me believe in my viewpoint more.
It reinforces what you already believe.
Because I'm sitting here arguing in trying to tell you why I'm right. So instead, an easy way to overcome an objection is just to validate the person's objection. Like, oh, you're skeptical about this? I understand. You should be. I was too, but I'm going to show you how, right? So anyways, hook, overcoming the objection, and I think that's where we're at. I'm tracking though.
Okay. So the hardest thing to do is to overcome an objection without eating up your entire video time. All right. So you have to validate and overcome within about 3 seconds. Otherwise, you're going to scroll. So you gotta hook, overcome, and validate why they should stick around in 3 seconds. And that's why, so the biggest thing for our like objection overcoming, what we figured out is that if you do it by just saying like a few words, right? Like there's no risk, don't worry. Like, hey, you can check this out. It's a free method. Okay. It doesn't cost anything. By doing that, you're literally like, it's like somebody has a problem with something and you're just putting a hand on their shoulder really quick and saying, hey, it's going to be okay. Look, right? Like, hey, just check it out. Right. So what you're doing is you're not shoving it down their throat. You're inviting them to, hey, just check it out. Right. So at the So that's the first O is overcoming objection, right? And then the next O is over deliver value. All right, so you just got to have, as people are watching, you got to just like fill them up. Like if you're using a 15-second video, you got to pack those 15 seconds with like tools and stuff that like people can look at and then actually learn from. Like there's some amazing tools online that people don't know and they could use in their everyday life, right? So like Photopea is like it's like a free Photoshop that's all web browser based. You don't have to actually download software, right? So it's just little things like that. You can just pack in, say, hey, I'm going to teach you how to do something like this. Show some cool tools that anybody could use, because now you're going to get shares, because people will be like, oh, hey, that's cool. I didn't know that tool, that one thing that he just showed is usable in what I do, right? So even if they're not interested in what you're doing, if you provide enough value quickly, people will share it because you showed something that they like, or that's something that someone they know would like, right? And so that's kind of like a lot of people that I've been seeing that they're like, hey, can you help me? I'm struggling. I go through and look at their channel and they do this. They pull up their phone and they start the video and say, I'm going to show you how to make $100 a day with affiliate marketing, right? And then they say, let's talk about some theory, and they talk about how affiliate marketing works, which is fine, and that's good because you should be creating that content. But then they blame that content on why they're not growing, right? But if you're just a talking head explaining theory, the only people you're going to reach are the people who want that theory. But if you're showing tools and concepts and cool ways, like, hey, did you know you could use affiliate marketing to pay off your car, right? Now people will be like, oh, wait a minute, I want my car paid off. How can I apply affiliate marketing? Now I'll listen to affiliate marketing. Yeah. So all you have to do is find a way to create value around what you're wanting to teach. So if there's a tool or a concept or a problem that somebody else has that you can fix or apply that value to, or like add that concept to, or whatever, now you're creating that extra value. Yeah. Right? So that's HOO, and then C instead of K for hook. So the C is the call to action. Every single video you put out needs to have a call to action. You need to say, like and follow, or hey, if you like this content, be sure to follow, whatever, like this video. Okay, that's your default, is like and follow, because that's going to, as you can see, your follows versus my like ratio. So my like ratio and my follow ratio is super high. You'll see people with like millions of likes with less followers than me. Why would they have millions and millions of views and likes but less followers than me? And I'm not saying I'm better than them in any way. Yeah. If you watch those kinds of channels, if you go through their content, the big difference is in the last second or two, I'll say, hey, like and follow really quick, just a little cut in, just like and follow. Yeah. And if people see that, and I mean, you know all about call to actions. If you ask for it, people are more likely to do it. So yeah. Anyways, it's like and follow, or hey, sub to my YouTube, which is in my bio, or hey, check out this link in my bio link.
I think the challenge is, and I'm just gonna give everybody a visual here of kind of what you've just went over, like in a timeline sense. Yeah. So like, I think the challenge though, Nathan, is like that people, you got to do all this in 60 seconds, right? So, so your first was the hook, and that's really kind of a 2 to 3 second thing, right?
Yeah, I'd say max 4 seconds.
Okay, max. Yeah, max 4 seconds. Okay.
And the reason I say max 4 seconds is because 2 to 3 seconds, people might end up doing 5, not realizing they're actually doing 5.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then we've got the O, which is overcoming the objection, and that's really like, once again, max 4 seconds, right?
Yeah, I'd say if you're doing a 15-second video, I will literally do that in 1 to 2 seconds.
So a lot of these are even 15-second videos versus 60-second, right?
So if you're going to try to create something that goes super viral and gets sales, I highly recommend you do 60-second videos. So we can do a 60-second format if that's what you want. 15 seconds. So 15-second videos can go viral and they can get you a lot of followers and they can do a lot for you. And you should be using 15-second. But the most of my results and success have been by getting a high watch time on 60-second videos. So
Most of your say that
results.
one more time.
Most of my results are from high watch time on 60-second videos.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a format though for the 15 second. Okay. So like and follow is kind of like a 2 second call to action at the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And when you start getting into TikTok and start editing and like creating that content, you realize like you start packing like how much can I fit into 1 second? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. But like you can be saying one thing and showing another thing, like pointing at your screen and trying to pack as much as you can in. And I think that's part of like the content creator mindset you have to get into a little bit, is just how can I create something that flows, that's watchable, that also provides a lot of value.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on a second. I'm doing the 15 seconds. So really, if you've got 2, 4, 5, 6, I mean, you need to be 10 to 12 seconds here in the middle.
Yeah.
Right, for the 15-second video.
Yeah. So basically with the 15 seconds, I try to keep the fluff, the body of the content to be 9 to 10 seconds and then fit everything else around it.
I got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, that makes sense. So I wanted to go back because the like and follow is kind of a cool little template that, or script, I guess, for lack of better terms, just for people to kind of have and use. Let's do just a couple of examples of sort of a hook that somebody could actually do in 1 to 2 seconds, and then an example hook that somebody could do an example overcoming the objections that somebody could do in 1 to 2 seconds. If you can think of anything, I mean,
Whew, put me on the spot in the early morning.
No, I know. So it's like make $200 a day with affiliate marketing. Make $200 a day with affiliate marketing. It could be 1 to 2 seconds, right?
Yeah,
Make
so I would say
$200.
something like, here's how. What you want to do is like, this is it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the reinforcement of this video is for this. All right. So here's how you make $200 a day with affiliate marketing is what I would do for like my intro. And it's fast. Like you gotta rattle it off quick. I'll be honest. Sometimes I'll sit there and I use this. I gotta pull it up now. What is this? It's called so Rapid Tables is just a browser-based text thing that I use. It's basically an online notepad.
Rapid tables. Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So what I just use is like the
I got it pulled up on my screen.
Okay. Yeah. So like the PDF. I don't even know which one that is. Just the notes. Yeah. Tools Notepad is what I use.
Where is that at? Tools, notepad of mine.
Tools? Maybe on text tools. Yeah. I have mine hotbar.
Okay. Word counter, character. How are you, what are you using it for?
It's just a text thing that I just pull up. So you could use like Notepad or anything like that.
I got you.
Yeah. It's literally just a web-based notepad.
I got you. So it's just a notepad that you're writing.
Yeah.
You're kind of scripting your video, right?
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll pull that up, and what I do with that is like I can just copy and stuff from the web. That's all it does. Is it just makes things a little bit easier.
Okay. So let's continue with this thought though, because I like this example. And I think this will be valuable for people. So here's how to make $200 a day with affiliate marketing, right? It's kind of rambled it off real quick. Now, what would be an example of overcoming the objection?
Yeah, so that comes down to understanding your audience a little bit. What are their objections? All right, so you do have to know your audience a little bit. You can't just throw this stuff out there and expect.
Okay, well, let's go with the make money online niche. So here's how to make $200 a day with affiliate marketing. So they're like, they think that's a scam. They think it's not real. They think,
MLM is the biggest, the biggest thing people think is they have to invest a bunch of money, and it's potentially MLM.
Okay.
So those are two big things you're going to be dealing with.
Okay, so let's make let's make the objection script for both of those things. Obviously, you wouldn't use both on a 15-second video, but so they're gonna have. So, what would you say to tell somebody it's not going to be a lot of money?
I just say this doesn't cost anything. Or like this, it costs $0. Like literally, just doesn't cost anything. There's no risk.
Okay. You might.
So I'll just rattle off a bunch.
You might do it like, and this costs $0, right? Just to kind of add a little bit of entertainment to it, and this costs $0.
Yep. And everything that I do, like I'm adding like transitions and like all the stuff that I do is just moving my phone. So as you're saying this stuff, you want to be letting off of like the record button and then pressing, because you want to keep that like motion up as well for engagement. I mean, that's sure. pattern interrupt theory. So
yeah, and we can go look at one of your videos. I mean, I noticed that when I looked at a couple of them real quick. But so here's the script. Here's how to make $200 a day with affiliate marketing, and this costs $0.
Yep.
Here's how to make $200 a day with affiliate marketing, and no, it's not MLM, right?
Exactly.
And then boom. So there's how to get into the video quickly. And you're so right about this, bro, because this is such a big deal, because people waste this hook and this overcoming the objection at the beginning. People waste so much time that there's no way they could even make a viral video in 15 seconds that gets a lot of people to watch, the majority of people to watch the entire video, because what actually they end up doing, just as they stretch this this part out right here, right?
Yep.
And then this part out right here, and it ends up being like there's no, you actually can't even create an effective 15-second video, right?
Yeah, 8 seconds in, you're still explaining why they should watch. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like
where this formula right here is, dude, this is like in you breaking down and showing us in a scripting this out for people, and kind of even demonstrating how you can say things really, really quickly is really powerful. I would assume the comments are blowing up, and you guys are loving this. Let's all thank Nathan in the comments for being so willing and open to. I mean, this is stuff that, dude, people are.
I get paid decently well for my consulting, right?
Yeah, totally, bro. Totally.
This right here is going to be 90% of anybody's problem that I talk to. So 90% of anybody watching this is what I do. I will literally spend an hour writing a 15-second script, trying to figure out what can I say every 1 to 2 seconds to keep the engagement up and to keep things flowing.
Totally, dude.
That's it. That is my secret sauce, is take time to study and create that video before you even pick up your phone to actually do it.
I love it, dude. I love it. It's I think we got to think, and I've said this before, man, and I think it's appropriate to say it now again. It's like, we got to think of ourselves, man, as a media company. And there's absolutely no way that you would just go live on air on TV and you would just wing it, man. There's no way, dude. It's that doesn't exist. Like, you'd get fired. Nobody would watch your show, because it's so, like, what we're doing right now is different. This is a long form content thing that people know that when you go live, you're going to be riffing. It's going to take a long time, and they're in it for the long haul. But you have to understand how the platform works. And TikTok is not that, unless you're doing lives, right? If you're doing lives, maybe it's a different vibe. But doing lives is not how you're going to blow up your channel. Like, you're going to blow up your channel by creating videos that go viral, that get you tons of followers. And then when you go live, you're going to be able to spend time and build rapport with those followers. Would you agree with that, or is there anything you would add to that?
Yeah, no. So I would just say that this whole concept right here is the I guess, like I said earlier, the secret sauce to success with content is having a idea of what the heck you're doing in the first place. Like, that's to add to what you're saying. Basically, I'm just going to go back and say, like, you got to understand why you're creating that content in the first place. What is your end goal? Because it all goes back to the hook, right?
Yeah,
And then are you okay? So I'm going to go to a little bit of a, I'm going to add to it with a little bit of a personal touch.
sure.
If you are just doing this stuff to make money, you're in the wrong mindset. And everybody will say that. Like, no matter what you're doing, if you're just trying to make money, you won't make money and your content's gonna probably suck, just flat out.
Yeah,
And the reason is because you're not valuing, like, so with TikTok, if you have one good video that explains something, you could literally reach millions of people in 24 hours.
yeah,
What in the world would those people, why should they watch your video?
yeah,
Like, that's the honest truth. And if you're scared, like, holy crap, I don't want that many people watching my video, that mindset, your brain is going to literally pull back on your reins and keep you from creating something that could potentially go viral. But the
yeah,
whole point of TikTok is building that audience, building that traffic, getting people to see, hey, this guy's got something of value, and I'm going to go click his profile. And then if you pull up my profile really quick, so somebody watches one of my videos, right? And then they click on to, because it makes it really easy, right? If you look at my profile, hey, what do I have? First thing I want people to do, I'm personally trying to grow my YouTube channel, which, by the way, I've grown my YouTube channel. I was stuck at 522 followers because I didn't create content. I didn't do anything, right? I basically left it when I started taking on YouTube clients. I ignored my own channel, and that's one of my biggest, like, regrets, is not continuing on my
yeah,
own YouTube channel. But so for 2 years, it basically sat at 522 subscribers, right? And then when I did that, I put, hey, sub to my YouTube, and then in one video I said, hey, here's a content or here's a strategy I'm going to talk about, or even just like a concept of passive income. I made one video, put it up on my YouTube, and then linked to it in my TikTok. And now, just like a few weeks later since I did that, I'm almost to like 3,200 in like a month.
yeah.
And I've created one video, and see that, like, 62,000 views. So just by creating one video on TikTok and one video on YouTube,
6,200 views. Just
yeah,
you said
6,200.
1,000, but yeah, just for
Oh, yeah, yeah,
clarity. Yeah, right here. You talking about this one?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Yes,
see it, dude. You've had one video, right? It's like all these
yeah,
other are 1 year ago, and this one's 1 month ago.
yeah, yeah. So 1 month ago, I put that up, and I mean, yeah, 1 year ago is when I was like, hey, I'm going to teach people, because I would do the Facebook thing, like Facebook organic marketing and stuff like that, and I talk about software and stuff like that. And if you look at my content, I was going to talk about, like, going into the entrepreneurial mindset. So there's 3 years ago. That's when I really started getting into.
The baby face.
That's the baby phase. Yeah, that is pre me teaching anything that I do. This is where I was starting to say, hey, I'm going to start talking about and get into the actual, like, selling affiliate marketing instead of software, because
That's pre-beard life too.
that is active duty life. So I was about 30 pounds lighter and didn't have my beard. But
Now
when you
now
when you
you
get out, go ahead.
now you become a man with the beard and the
Yeah,
extra weight, bro. Come on
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. Get out.
How do you know back in the olden days, man, ancient times, they used to know that a man was very successful by how big his belly was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you had money, you had good food, lots of good food. Yep. But I mean, breaking your back kind of does one thing for you as well. So
Without a doubt, man.
yeah, and nerve damage sucks. I don't recommend doing it.
Well, I'm feeling pain just thinking about it, bro.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, now it's like it's manageable. It's fine. It's not like I'm popping morphine every day, but
Right, right. And that's the other kind of danger is getting hooked on pain pills, right? So that's a
yeah,
whole another show, I think. But I'm just glad you're well and you're okay and you've come back from it.
yeah. Actually, so here's a little bit of encouragement to people watching this. Because of my back injury and because I learned web design, I learned marketing, I learned email marketing, right? So I was trying to get away from my heavy prescription meds because I was taking some heavy stuff really consistently, right? And it was
Totally,
really
bro.
bad. Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah, the military is just like, here's all the meds you'll ever want for the rest of your life. Come back
Right,
in a month if you want more, right?
right,
Um,
right.
so, anyways, I ended up getting into CBD, and that got me off of my heavy pain meds. So,
Nice.
so I was like, hey, this is really cool. And there's like a local producer and stuff like that. So, anyways, I contacted them, and within 6 months, I built a website. I started a business. I bought like a bunch of product, and they run our production now. And me and my oldest sister and my oldest brother, we own a CBD company now. And because of my education, I was able to do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think people really realize how transferable these skills are, man. And I think that's one of the things, like you said a second ago, you were like, don't just try to make money. And I mean, I want to address the objection, right?
Yeah.
People are thinking easy for
Yes.
you to say, dude, because you're sitting at
Yes.
home, you're chilling, you're making money, but I'm out here, kind of sneaking around to even watch this at my job that I hate, barely
Mhm.
getting by.
Yeah.
And and so like I get that and I totally understand that and have been there too. However, the skills that you're learning on the side in your spare time or in your work time, whatever,
Yeah.
whenever you're learning, that was none of our business, um,
Yeah.
are skills that are going to benefit you and your loved ones and your businesses for years to come. And it may not come fast. Like you said, it may be 3 years before the first
I
dollar.
hope not.
That's
I
very
honestly hope
realistic.
not. Yeah.
That's very like, you know
Uh,
what? And I wanna be even more ruthlessly honest. The average person who starts any business online, who buys any how-to products gets no results.
mhm.
Wanna know why? Because the average person who starts any diet, who goes has a gym membership, who gets little to no results. Why? Because it's human nature. We want instant gratification. And you know what? Here's the secret. That's why it's so easy to succeed because the competition is actually so low. And most people think that the competition is high. Oh, it's so saturated. But let me tell you
Yeah.
something. If that was true, there'd be no room to blow up in 90 days.
No,
There wouldn't.
no.
But the majority, the large, vast, dramatic majority of people are just consuming content. They're not on TikTok or YouTube to they're not creating, they're consuming. That's what these platforms
Mhm.
are for, right?
Yeah.
Just like the majority of people who watch TV are consuming. The small minority are behind the camera and it's part of their business to broadcast the content. So, you know, be celebrate the fact. You guys should all celebrate the fact that the majority of people get no results because they do nothing with the information. Celebrate that. Get excited about that. Realize that you can use that to your advantage because is all you have to do is apply a little bit of effort and actually use this shit. Put it into action. And of course, like we're sitting here just today, this like this what you shared with us, man. Like just this alone, you've given us a basically a
Yeah.
blueprint. You've given us the formula, the thing that you consult for thousands of dollars for clients to go in and look at their stuff. You've get so I mean, the information is there, but you know what? You just got to use it, guys, and you can you can develop these skills and they can benefit you for years to come. And I don't know, I ranted there for a moment, but it just,
Oh, that was good.
your
Good.
story about the CBD and launching that company, like getting away from pain meds and then using CBD and then launching a business with the skills that you learned here in your internet marketing journey,
Mhm.
is just, it's just inspiring. And it's evidence how powerful and how much opportunity there is when you learn these skills, and your sort of, your vision opens up and you start seeing opportunity differently
Yeah.
than just seeing obstacles.
I think that right there with what you just said, your vision opens up. That right there is probably the biggest thing because most people they're trained to do this, right? Like this is your schedule for school. You get out of school. This is your work schedule. This is your cubby. Like this is your office. This is your work. This is your tasks, and everything is just laid out for you, right? But when you come into the entrepreneurial world and it's like, hey, you can do anything you want, have at it, you're just kind of like lost for words on which way to go, like all this different stuff. Just pick one thing, go find people who are already doing it and model them. Just model them. Take notes on everything that they do. If you can contact them, try, like put out an effort to contact them and just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like, hey, what do you do on the back end? Like, how can I get into the back end? Can I buy something from you? Can I pay you? And that's what I did is I just started like reaching out to people and started literally dissecting everything that I could see from people that were already being successful doing what I wanted to do. And
But see,
that's how I got my path was
you're going about things like so different than most people, bro. You know what I mean? Like most people hear you say contact them, and they're gonna go and they're gonna hit them up in Messenger or something, and they're gonna make it all about them. How can you help me? As if you don't have anything else to do. I shared, I don't remember where it was. Maybe it was a live. I do so much content and stuff that I don't remember where I said this, but it was all about how to contact somebody,
Mhm. Yeah.
and how to approach people, in basically making it easy for them to respond. Like, hey, like, I really love what you're doing. I'm really learning a lot from you. If there's an opportunity for me to pay you for a 15 minutes or a half hour of your time, I'd love to do that, or at least tell me what the price is. And if I can afford it, I'll do it. But I had a quick question for you, and I wanted to ask you concisely, and then even give you A, B, and C, as possible scenarios that I'm thinking might be the best answer to my question. So now, and so now you're doing the thinking instead of trying to put the thinking off on
Yeah.
somebody else, right? And
Yeah.
make them do the work. And then if they're gracious enough, which nobody owes you a response, that's the first thing. Nobody
Yeah.
owes you a response. But
Yeah.
if they're gracious enough and they have time to respond, then then you owe it to yourself and you owe it to them to then go and take action on what they told you, and then to follow back up and say, I used what you told me and here's what happened.
Mhm.
It didn't work, but I wanted to thank you because you were, or it did work and I wanted to thank you, right? There's a big difference between just being a taker
Yeah.
and just always approaching people thinking about what's in it for me, which is an adolescent mindset. I saw my 4-year-old, like, one of our friends sent us these bracelets last night
There you go.
for
Nice.
Christmas, just
Yeah.
like a little thing. One of
Yeah.
our friends, kids made these for us, and like my daughter broke hers, and so I opened mine when I got home from work, and I put it on my wrist, and then my daughter had a meltdown and made it all about her in terms of the fact that she broke her necklace. Totally normal for a 4-year-old to do.
Okay.
Totally normal. 4-year-olds, kids make every situation about them.
Uh-huh.
Adults, but adults, especially leaders, if you want to get somewhere in life, you have to make every situation about others, right? And how you approach somebody, making it about them, making it easy, doing the thinking for them instead of trying to just take is a big deal. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm ranting again, but what comes up for you as I say that? Is that in line with your thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was just trying to like quickly say like, hey, just reach out to somebody. Yeah, that's a whole other video topic that you should
It
probably
is.
do for
It
people.
is.
Like,
It is, and I wanted to just try to save some leaders, this
yeah.
inbox trouble, because we gotta train ourselves how to approach people, especially in this entrepreneurial world, because people operate differently, man. You show up in their inbox like a taker, and you're probably not gonna get a response.
Yeah, I have a lot of ignored messages or deleted messages in Facebook because
Yeah,
people, or even Instagram, people will see me on TikTok. Like I get like hundreds of people like asking me like, "Oh, hey, how can I do this? Like, can I do this? Or can you do this? Or hey, help me fix my TikTok." And I'll like message
right.
them back and be like, "Okay, what do you need help with?" And they're like, "I need you to write my content, or I need you to like grade my entire thing, right? Audit my TikTok and fix my problem." And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, like, it's
Like,
the entitlement, bro, the
yeah,
entitlement is crazy, as if I've worked my ass off for 10 years to get where I'm at, to just do the work for somebody who's not willing to help themselves. It's crazy. I love people, like, we go live every day, we put out tons of content, but it's like the entitlement is sort of maddening. The other thing I wanted to point out, and then we'll bring this conversation in for a landing, because I'm sure you're busy and I'm sure you've got things to do, as do I.
yeah,
Uh, and I'm super grateful for your time and super just pumped to have had this conversation.
yeah,
But I wanted to point out one thing that you said about 45 minutes ago, which was I went through a course which you bought for $1 from
yeah.
our company, and you said, "Well, it did. I went through it, and if I followed it step by step, I wouldn't have gotten results. I had to actually do some thinking. I
Funny how
had
that
to
works, right?
actually adjust and test
Yeah,
and tweak." And I don't think that's what you said word for word, because
concept
it
wise,
gave you a framework. It gave you a starting place. It did a lot of the thinking for you. But you took responsibility, which is the opposite of what I've seen over the past 10 years with people who struggle and fail, which is, I paid $1 for something, or I paid a couple of $1,000 for something, and it didn't do all the thinking for me. I actually have to think, and I have to test and try and make an effort, and I'm pissed off about that. But your approach is, I'm buying something, I'm investing in something because it can give me a tip, it can give me a nugget, it can give me an angle, it can get the juices flowing, it can tell me sort of where to start. I just thought that was worth pointing out. And if you wanted to say any more about that, if
yeah,
not, that's totally fine too. But I just thought that was just such a success secret that I wanted to bring back up.
yeah. So I think I've only ever returned, and I've spent like, I mean, people have spent tens of thousands of dollars. I think over the last 9 years, I've spent maybe $20,000 in self education and buying courses, right? You know, anywhere from $1, literally. That dollar course, when I buy a course, I don't think like this course is it. This is the one that's going to change my life. It could potentially, honestly. Or this consulting is the one consultant that is going to change my life. Whatever the price is, I say I am paying this price for the nuggets that I can use in my overall life experience, my education of everything I'm working towards. So when I paid that dollar, man, I'll tell you what, that dollar course for TikTok was one of the best dollars I ever spent. But if I would have just spent that dollar thinking this course is going to make me successful, that's not a good mindset. So when you buy something out of the $20,000 I've invested in, um, which for some that's a jokeable number, for some that's an unbelievable number, right? And it's all perspective, and we'll perspective is a huge thing you could talk about later. But so when you buy something, just think, what can I get out of this, and appreciate it for that. Don't think that this is going to be everything, and it could be. I hope it is. And with a lot of the stuff on Legendary Marketer, it is, right? I've only ever returned one course, just because it was a huge price for a extremely overvalued system, right? And I was really upset about the person selling that, right? And other than that, I wouldn't ever suggest refunding, because everything you ever buy is going to help you at some point in your journey.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing.
And it's also, I love that, and I don't need to add anything to it, but I will also just add that I really believe in business karma, and I believe that the way that I treat the people that I do business with is how I'm going to be treated. And so in terms of how I always strive to be the best client possible. Like I actually pride myself in making extra effort to be an easy client, to be the best client that people have ever worked with, whether it's my therapist, whether it's my chiropractor, whether it's a coach, whatever it is. I strive to be my financial planner, like the person who helps me to invest. I figure out how can I make their job easier because that's going to make them more excited to want to work with me and to want to help me. And I think it's just, once again, we go back to that what's in it for somebody else, not just always being in a selfish mindset. And it just is, it's leadership. It's really the edge. But dude, I this has been way over what any of us expected. Thank you for being so willing to share. I hope you'll come back and continue to do it, but I'll understand if you don't want to because basically you just came on and spilled the beans and really broke,
Yeah.
everything that you're doing that's helped you to kind of blow up, and it's just been it's been gold as we've got some comments coming through. It's just been absolute gold, and I appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely. That goes back to what you said earlier. I mean, I can spill the beans, but how many of you are actually going to use it? Yeah.
Word.
So use it. It works.
Be safe, be well, stay legendary, brother.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks for having me. Bye.
All right, my friends, Nathan Earl. I've shared his site with all of you guys. You can look him up on TikTok and just go follow his profile. I'll put it on one more time for those of you who are just coming on. You can not only take what he shared today in terms of this formula, this hook formula that I think is brilliant, but also his TikTok profile. Just look him up, Nathan Earl. There he is. And then this is his YouTube channel, which is also Nathan Earl. As I called him before we actually went live, in the confines and privacy behind the scenes, I called him a stud muffin, and he has proven to be worthy of that title. We'll be back here tomorrow for Wake Up Legendary once again, 10 a.m. Eastern time. As you can see, highly valuable stuff, but that's only because we have such incredible people in this community who are willing to come on and be so gracious with their time. And we are super grateful for that. So meet us back here tomorrow. We'll see you then. Get the hell out of here. Go change the world. Be legendary. Talk to you later. Bye.